Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern Ned Reynolds in the studio on a Tuesday morning. So the final preseason game for the Chiefs is on Friday, and this is game 3, which means almost all starters will probably not play more than 1 or 2 plays, and then if any, and then it's going to be those competing for depth on the team. You say that we've got some area guys that are going to be in this, possibly?
I don't know how the Seattle Seahawks, the reigning NFL Super Bowl champs, are going to approach this. I just haven't seen their game plan at all. But yeah, actually, there's room for conjecture there with the Chiefs because they could start some of their players, some of their regulars. They have a long time before their regular scheduled game, which is September the 14th. And this will be, August the 28th. So there's quite a bit of hiatus in between. Anyway, that's beside the point. The Seahawks will, Sam Darnold, their starting quarterback, may see a bit of action, but most of it will go to Drew Lock, the one-time Missouri Tiger kid out of Lee Summit, Missouri. He'll get the starting call, or not starting, but certainly play quite a bit at quarterback. And Jason Milroe, their third stringer, who Locke has replaced as second string, will probably see some. But we're focusing on the running back. Zach Charbonnet is the likely running back first stringer in the Seattle Seahawks backfield. But the kid who got the 69-yard touchdown run against the Tennessee Titans in the first quarter on Sunday night's a kid named Jacardier Wright. And he's Missouri State, folks. An outstanding running back with the Bears 2 years ago. Was with Seattle on their practice squad last year. Did get a Super Bowl ring. But he's vying to be on the regular team now. And that 69-yard touchdown run in the first period against Tennessee certainly didn't hurt him at all. What might have hurt him, and this didn't get publicized very much, is later in the ball game, a Tennessee defensive back got right around the neck with the face mask and twisted his head around quite a bit. I think every official on the field saw it because here come all the yellow flags in the world down. There was a big penalty against that. Now, Jacardier did get up and left the field and so forth and so on, and there hasn't been any report that he was seriously injured, but that was a big-time hit. Nonetheless, those guys will be on the field at Arrowhead on Sunday night, or Friday night, I should say, for the final preseason game.
And weather's looking okay. It's not going to be 100 million degrees like it was the last time they played a game at Arrowhead. 86 and sunny, so it should be low 80s, mid 70s by the time that game starts.
They're telling me it's not going to be 5 below zero.
I'm fine with that too. Either way. So we talked about the big dogs. Let's talk about the little pups, the high school kids. When do they start their football season?
The end of this week. Most of the games, in fact, the overwhelming majority will be on Friday night, the 28th. There is one game at least in the area on Thursday night, and that'll be Buffalo hosting Diamond up at Dallas County. But most of them on Friday night, and there are some very big openers. I think everybody's looking at the Carthage-Nixa game as probably one of the biggies. But high school football does get underway, and indeed, I think everybody's anticipating it. It should be a pretty good year, and Southwest Missouri may have some legitimate title contenders.
And I know you're getting real excited because it's also that time of the year when the USA gets to hold a tennis championship.
This is it. This is the United States Open Tennis Championship of this country. And while it's going on right now, as a matter of fact, these are the qualifying tournaments. It doesn't get much publicity, nor should it, because these are the individuals who are trying to get into the main draw. You can compare it to golf, where on the major golf tournaments you have usually a Monday, Tuesday for the qualifying guys for whatever availabilities. There may be only 3 or 4 or whatever, but you're playing rounds of golf to get a low score and get in there. Well, that's the same thing in tennis. They have all these qualifying tournaments. This is all being held at Flushing Meadow, right by Citi Field in New York, out on Long Island. And it'll be a lot of fun. The main draw, the big competition, those who survive, and it'll be the big names, they will start on Sunday afternoon and then continue for the next 2 weeks, ultimately concluding with the United States National Championship.
You got some baseball going on tonight, is that right?
Finally, the Cardinals and Royals are back in action after a day off, so are the Springfield Cardinals for that matter. The Cardinals will be home at Busch Stadium hosting the Baltimore Orioles. I think the Cardinals have a lot of pride in their team, and I think they'll get off their singed tail feathers and get up and play some pretty solid baseball. They do have Matt Liberatore going for them tonight against the O's. Now, Baltimore is in the wild card hunt in the American League, so they come in with plenty of desire to win this game. And the Cardinals, well, they've got to get off their tails. They're 5 games out of this is the Cardinals we're talking about, 5 games out of the wild card berth at the moment, and there are 30 games to play inclusive of tonight. That's all that remain in the regular season. The Royals will be in Toronto. Now, the Royals pretty much are out of the wild card hunt, but Toronto is a contender for the playoffs and who knows, maybe the World Series. They were in the playoffs last year, played Seattle for the American League Championship, lost to the Seattle Mariners. I beg your pardon, beat the Seattle Mariners for the championship and got in against the Dodgers, you might remember. So Toronto will be very much motivated to play when they take on a Kansas City Royals team that has won 8 in a row. Springfield Cardinals are home tonight. They open up a series with the San Antonio Missions. Springbirds are playing very well. They have a good ball club, solid ball club, and I really think they have a clear path to the Texas League playoffs. And the Springfield Cardinals, as most of you know, are the reigning Texas League champions.
Man, it'd be crazy to see. Baseball is such a great game sometimes, and your expectations versus reality sometimes gets all messed up. But it's been a good year, and I'm sad to see that we only do have 30 games left. Got some college football coming back though this weekend, don't we, bud?
There are a few widely scattered games this coming weekend. They call this, they being the pundits, the media, and some of the officials in college football, this is week 0 is what they call this. There are a few FCS games on Thursday night. FCS is what the Bears used to be in. But the big ones all get such as they are. Getting underway this weekend. The biggest one of all is not even in this country. It is the Aer Lingus, that's the name for the Irish Airlines that sponsor it, the Aer Lingus Championship, and it's in Dublin, Ireland, and playing this year North Carolina and Texas Christian. TCU is nationally ranked. North Carolina is not, but North Carolina has Bill Belichick as their coach. So after 1 year there, we'll see what he has done in Chapel Hill. The Tar Heels and the Horned Frogs, and that is Saturday. So is North Carolina State. And this is kind of strange. North Carolina State plays at Virginia. Why is it strange? Because it's an Atlantic Coast Conference game. And it's the opening game, and it's in week 0 is when they're playing it. University of Hawaii, which is a Mountain West Conference team, goes to Stanford to play. And here's one that I think is very interesting for the Conference USA. New Mexico State, who the Bears will play a little bit later on this year, opens up at Florida State in Tallahassee. And Florida State has come on and rebuilt their lineup. This will be a tough outing for the New Mexico State Aggies. We'll see what happens. Few of the games, the big explosion is later next week, and get some really great opening games.
Got a lot of money on the line for the season ender in golf. When's that thing get kicked off?
Thursday. Starts on Thursday morning. The tee times have not been announced yet, but this is at East Lake in Atlanta. This is where they played the FedEx Championship. The Tour Championship is what they call it. They've played there for the last 15, 16, 17 years now. And it will probably move after next year to a new course. But East Lake is where they play, and you talk about a lot of money. The purse in this tournament is $40 million. $40 million. $10 million goes to the individual winner. That's a pretty good little payday for playing golf. So, will Scotty Scheffler rebound? He didn't do very well at Belle Reve in St. Louis. Did win some money. They all do. But this is the 30. The field is now 30 top golfers in the world who will play now for the FedEx Tournament Championship. And this is the end, really the end of golf for the season. Now, does that mean nobody plays any more golf? No, of course not. We have the President's Cup. That'll be coming up later on in September. That's the off-year competition internationally. The Ryder Cup is every 2 years, interspersed with the President's Cup. And that's the USA versus the international team, and that will be played at the Medina Country Club in Chicago, and that's in later September. So golf isn't over yet, but this is a big tournament coming up this weekend.
Oh, yeah, it is. Plenty of opportunities for your naps, my man. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.